Now, this is as direct as it could get. In the backdrop of the Vijay Mallya extradition case, Prime Minister Modi today met UK Prime Minister Theresa May on the sidelines of G20, and he has asked for help for the return of economic offenders who have escaped to the UK. There's not one. We have demanded that at least many of them, there's a list of at least 80 people pending with the UK government. Vijay Mallya's name, of course, on top of the list. And Aditya Rajkol now joining us live on this big story. Aditya, this is extremely important, isn't it? At a time when we are pushing for Vijay Mallya's extradition, when we put those charge sheets before the Westminster Court, this is a direct effort at the level of Prime Ministers. This is no ordinary case. This is no ordinary push.
Absolutely, Parikshit. This is a big development coming in on the sidelines of the G20 summit in Hamburg, Germany. Prime Minister Narendra Modi meeting Theresa May, the UK Prime Minister, and in fact conveying in very important terms that economic offenders who have taken shelter in the United Kingdom should in fact be returned and extradited back to India. This is important in the context of course, the defaulter Vijay Mallya, who has been evading the agencies here in India. In fact, Parikshit, if you remember, just 2 days ago was one of the hearings in this particular case, which decided that next hearing would take place on 14th September. The the entire detailed hearing of this case will be taking place on 4th of December. That's when, perhaps we will see some kind of a day-to-day hearing for at least 5 to 6 occasions, and a final order could come. There could be further appeals made by Vijay Mallya as well, but this is a big development coming in. Just as Indian agencies have submitted fresh documents nailing Vijay Mallya, India and Prime Minister Narendra Modi conveying to Theresa May that economic offenders should be returned back to India very, very soon. There shouldn't be a prolonged process. And Indian agencies, both the CBI, the Enforcement Directorate and the Ministry of Home Affairs, have been working very closely with the Ministry of External Affairs to get back Vijay Mallya. Already the Indian High Commission has been supplying documents through, the CPS, the Crown Prosecution Service in London, to the Westminster Magistrates Court for Vijay Mallya. And another perhaps important occasion when Prime Minister thought it is the appropriate platform to reflect India's concern on Vijay Mallya and several other economic offenders, and conveying to UK that, enough is enough, that they cannot run away from the law. And while we respect the UK laws and there should be a due process, but it shouldn't be a prolonged process.
Right. Let's also go across to our Executive Editor, Abhishek, on this. Abhishek, this is a given that the hint and the action is to get Vijay Mallya back. The immediate action is to get him back as soon as possible. But is there also a larger message to bank defaulters and corporate India?
Well, Parikshit, first thing, UK is historically notorious for not really cooperating on extradition requests, and they have practiced the extradition treaty more in its breach than following it. So in that context, for the Prime Minister to really take it up at the highest level shows or underscores the intent of the Government of India to really pursue the matter to the logical conclusion, where it's not just the officers, agencies interlocuting with their respective counterparts, but actually the Prime Minister taking it up with his counterpart in the United Kingdom, that action should be taken and cooperation in all forms should be seen to be coming, so that economic, and the Prime Minister, it's clear from the information that has come out of the Ministry of External Affairs that the specific request has been made for economic offenders. Now, the list of 80 that you were mentioning, how many are economic offenders?
I'll
Maybe about a dozen.
Here.
Exactly.
There may be criminals also.
Yeah, exactly. So, economic offenders, which means the target is Vijay Mallya, and the Prime Minister was very clear that the UK government should deliver.